Hello everyone, this has been The Bold, and I just want to start out by saying glory to Albion. The Albion people have ascended into a dominant power. We have just won a war, we have some Black Flag armies. That was how we kind of finished up the last episode, just moving them back. I'm going to go ahead and accept some peace offers. Oh, looks like that trade offer is actually going to go away before I can accept it. Anyway, the theme for today's video is not going to be expansion. We might go ahead and begin the war against the Calitia. However, the real theme for today's episode is going to be just kind of some of the internal politics. Oh, one of our settlements has become a city. We're going to work on some of the internal politics. We're also going to work on trying to ever increase the number of research points we make in a month. I think the very first thing I am going to do is probably take a invention. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and get state religion happiness up. That's just going to make all these newly conquered provinces, as well as all of the pops that I have moved back to cities like Venta and even Londinium in the mainland, just make them a little bit happier citizens, and freemen as well as slaves means more productive. I'm not going to export the grain as of yet, especially since I actually have low food just here. In fact, unfortunately, you're probably just going to have to reduce the number of pops in this settlement. I could think about actually paying to move them, but looks like we have another thing of barbarians coming down from the northern expanses of Caledonia. You should spring into action to defend the borders when they cross over into the borders. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and accept that earthenware export. Or they don't seem to be wanting to move, so I'm going to override and just move you in. It looks like you will win that battle. They're not at the barbarians are not at full morale, so we shouldn't have any trouble there. We are making a ton of money per month. So I know that I can go on kind of a building spree. The only thing is where I'm kind of limited is on the just building slots, and I need more political influence to increase that. Alright, so we did win that battle here. Can I now put you on defend borders? Will you just go back to where you were instead of trying to attack these barbarians? Let's go ahead, override, move you back in, have you fight some barbarians like I wanted you to in the beginning. Anyway, we should be looking at our cities and trying to go ahead and probably just build more and more libraries at this point. So I'm actually going to go to pretty much all of the cities. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and build 3 more libraries there. We win again. Get rid of that horrible map mode and pop you back over. Play a little bit of whack-a-mole. We'll just be fine. Let's see, what are some of my other grand cities? How about the other city of Venta? You get a library. And finally, we are going to stack wipe them. You get a library. What about you? You cannot get a library because you don't have any building slots. That's okay, we're getting more political influence every month. I could gain a little bit of popularity, but lose loyalty from my Master of the Guard. She is very loyal. I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. We have had a major death. Going to go ahead and accept that. Trade offer. Let's go ahead, get a new royal tutor. How about you? You seem awesome. That makes the sacrifice of the gods a little bit easier to deal with. Let's just to remind us where our emperor is. He's pretty average across the board. He has a pretty average child coming, although to age, you are married but don't have any children. Alright, so hopefully they will have some kids. In the meantime, we are just going to keep on keeping on. Let's build us some libraries. Oh, you can have lots of libraries. You're going to get 3 libraries. And you know what? You're also going to go ahead and get an academy. What is this? A granary? That gives you... You don't need more food. In fact, look at them. They are getting 21 food per month. Let's go ahead and just destroy that granary, shall we? We have had a major death, although it's just someone from our province. I'm going to go ahead and decline that offer. I don't really love accepting offers for food, especially grain. I'll go ahead and export some fish. We should look up here in Ireland as we're trying to go ahead and build up some major cities here. For instance, this city of Gosh, I'm gonna have to turn that map mode off, won't I? This city of Icenia? Yeah, that'll be what I call it. Icenia. I don't even think it really even needs a fortress anymore. I'll leave the fort for now. It definitely doesn't need the aqueduct, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy it. I know I originally built it to just kind of try to increase the migration attraction a little bit, and instead it is now going to get 2 libraries and an academy. Let's keep building. Gonna go ahead and trade out some more fish. Leave the grain. Alright, are there any cool inventions that I want? It doesn't really appear so. Naval morale recovery might be good. Primary culture happiness. I'm actually going to go ahead and take that one. Let's just make everyone just a little bit happier. And suddenly we have actually gone ahead and used up all of our money. That is actually perfect. It's exactly what we want. And we are losing manpower like crazy. I should have been keeping a better eye on that. And I guess it's because of these armies down here sitting on top of each other. Whoops. Oh well, can't be helped. We have lost about 40,000 men in the last several months. Not great at all. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on independent operations. Well, put you back on defend borders. I don't know why you didn't defend us from the barbarians, but alas, you didn't. I think I'm... well, still going to decline this. I think I also want a big city in Caledonia. Let's take a look. See where we can build it. We could build it here in Linden. We're going to need a couple more political influence. And then we could go ahead and start the building process. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. It would be nice to have a city up here. Especially one that's protected by a fort, because the barbarians are going to keep coming down. And they are going to definitely want to take Linden. But as Linden can become more and more civilized, we will hopefully stop the barbarians from advancing from the great white expanses of northern Scotland. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button to, well, I need 200 gold. So I'm going to wait one more month. We'll have enough to do that. Actually, I'm just going to hit this button. I'm going to get for tyranny. The governor of Belgica, which is modern day Belgium, I'm assuming, is going to lose a bunch of loyalty. That's okay. I'm not too worried about her. And I'm going to found a new city in northern Scotland. Really, I guess, not really northern Scotland. It's like mid-Scotland. Northern Scotland would be way up here. And again, all these trade offers are for grain. Grain. Everybody wants grain. Let's see. I think I want to use... let's go back to that population map mode. What about you? Or you? You could be a good city. So I might start waiting. Is this the... yeah, this is the capital. We are currently on... I think soon. Well, I like that they are culture converting, but I actually think soon I'm going to change this to centralization once I get some more political influence, so that this province will start pouring more of its citizens into its province capital. I think that will help us. Wow, we can get 600 gold, and 4 of our tribesmen will leave our territory. I am totally okay with that. I don't love having a lot of tribesmen anyway. They don't like living here. I'm trying to be a little more civilized. Let's check out how we're doing in Venta. Venta, we can actually get a building, and I'm going to go ahead and get another academy in Venta. Just having more academies is going to help in the long run. Let's see. We are now up to 84 research points. Of course, a lot of these academies and libraries, they're going to take some time to really see their effects. That's fine. And look at this. We're already gaining back that manpower relatively quickly, although we're still losing 56 men per month. Where are we losing them from? Probably right here. Let's see. Can you go here? Yeah, you'll take a little bit less attrition there. That's fine. I don't think I have any need to build more soldiers anytime soon. My armies are nigh invincible at the current moment, at least from any uncivilized force. I might go ahead... where can I might go ahead and start moving some Iceni pops into northern Gaul so that I can start a migration station train and just go ahead and colonize the rest of the Netherlands. Oh, what happened? Oh, we have a new city and it's going to produce glass. That's great. Where is this city? Gessoricum? Where is Gessoricum? Oh, perfect. Right there. The city I was actually talking about maybe moving some slaves into. You're going to produce glass. Let's go ahead and, for now, I want to just have your migration attraction up higher. I think... Oh, and I want to go ahead and keep converting people. So I'm going to build 2 theaters there. You know what? Let's make it 3 theaters there. Wow, look at how much money I have. Oh yeah, it's because I got that event for 600 gold. That is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and build 3 theaters there. Building 3 theaters there will hopefully convert the population a little quicker. I also am going to... I know that I probably should stick it out with cultural assimilation for a little bit longer, but instead I'm going to go with centralized population. Speaking of, I think the next governor policy, I'm going to decline this for the grain trained. I think the next governor policies I'm going to do are going to be to change this one up here in the province of Taxalia and go ahead and change it to civilization effort. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think that that is probably my best bet to keeping these barbarian provinces from just keeping on spanning barbarians everywhere. I definitely don't want any more barbarians from the north. This province, where modern-day London is, what is it, the province of Cantasia, it is probably one of my most influential with 3 relatively large cities here, including Londinium. I do figure that Londinium will, especially because it gets such a great migration boost, one from its civilization value, but also because it's a port and it has a ton of population capacity. I'm going to go ahead and build 1 more library there as well. I'm hoping that Londinium will become a major metropolis as well that won't rival Venta, of course, because Venta is the far and away most civilized city really in all of Europe at the moment, which is amazing. And who would have thought? From the humble beginnings of the Iceni, we would have the most civilized city in all of Europe. Alright, so here, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I usually take this one with this event. Basically, we get a little bit of unrest down. We're going to lose 10 political influence, but we do get a new character who has a silver-tongued trait. It's never gone really poorly for me before, although part of me thinks that maybe the silver-tongued trait player one day will make a bid to be emperor. I hope that that is the case. I think that's a kind of a cool thing that Paradox could kind of work into the game. I might want to consider, since this is my city, I might want to consider moving my province capital. I don't have the political influence now, but I'm getting, what, almost 2.7 political influence per month. That's awesome. Which means I'm building that political influence very, very quickly, which I have a lot of things that I want to spend political influence on. Not the least of these is converting this to a city, also creating more building slots in all my territories, especially in this province. I wonder if it's time to go ahead and start thinking about another city in the province of Icenia, or Icenia. And I would probably put it right here. Yeah, in fact, that's definitely going to be what I spend my next 50 in political influence on. Let's go ahead and get another omen. You guys guessed it. We're going to go with National Citizen Output because I think that's the best one for our current situation. It is going to really help our technology keep growing. We're getting currently 89.5 research points. It bumped up. That means we're going to get our next martial advance at 567, which is very useful. I think I'm going to try something. I have fabricated a claim here, so I can declare war. I would fight 2 armies, or 2 other countries. Let's see who they are. So the Osmanians and the Belovecians. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and here's what I'm going to do. I just want to test it out. I have plenty of manpower to spare. I kind of am focusing on other things, but I do want to keep expanding. So in this case, I'm actually just going to come over here and put all of these armies in Gaul. And this is definitely not the most efficient way to use my manpower. But I kind of just want to see what will happen. First, I will give you a new general. You look great, plus you're coming from a scorned family, which is going to be good to hire you. I'm going to leave you at independent operations. I'm also going to put you at independent operations. I'm putting all of these at independent operations, and I want to see if they can handle this fight on their own. Obviously, I might step in. I'll keep a close eye on them, but part of me just wants to see what happens if the AI does this. I've tested this before in other playthroughs that I've done, especially, I've kind of mentioned this Epirus playthrough that I have going on at the current moment. I've kind of tested it out there. I'm not super thrilled with how well the AI performs in the independent operations, like fighting an entire war on its own. I really think that that's best used for like an army like this, where you tell it to like, hey, defend the borders from barbarians, maybe. Although we saw it kind of failing up here just a minute ago. But anyway, I just want to see how well they do. So I'm going to try not to get involved and try to keep on focusing on internal matters. But let's just go ahead and declare war to take this region, and we'll see if my armies, and they all are seemingly ready to walk away from the front. So interesting choice by my generals here. Like, where are you going, for instance? All right, now you're focusing in. It's not going to be near as efficient as if I were doing it myself, but hey, I want to see what will happen. Still don't... I mean, I haven't... I don't know why I keep coming back and checking inventions. I just kind of get in the habit of seeing that green invention tab and wanting to come in and, like, maybe see what invention I should go for. Although I don't really love any of these. I'm kind of purposely not going for it. Maybe Diplo range would be good, but I'm not too worried about it. Let's just keep waiting for our political influence to tick up. We are losing a ton of manpower right now, but I'm not really super worried about the manpower issue. If I wanted to, I could start also building some training camps that will... Oh, we have won our first battle. Yeah, and we out-tech them. Our tech is military level 3. Theirs is military level 1. None of that's great. Oh, looks like my personal character, my Emperor, is going to gain 250 gold, but he's also going to get some corruption. This happens because I'm corrupt. Well, to each his own. Look at this, 44,000 men. They are definitely not caring about taking some attrition. But we're just seeing what happens. I think I'm going to go ahead and just move this fleet towards this port. Just so it seems like my fleet is doing something. Alright, y'all. Let's go ahead and siege down some places. They seem to just kind of want to walk around. Not the greatest on the AI's behavior, but... now they're actually coming into land. This is some strange behavior on the part of... yeah, they are all trying to bypass the fort. Yeah, let's have you sit and siege down the fort. Again, I'm just testing this out, seeing what will happen. So far, I'm not super impressed. But hey, their armies are focusing down the enemy's armies, so I guess there is at least maybe something to be said for that. I'm going to go ahead and maybe get this fleet. Well, I guess I'll wait until all of these armies have done their thing. I regret bringing this fleet in here in the first place. Hey, you! Siege down this fort! I know if I wanted to, I could tell them to do it. It's just I want to see what they will do without it, especially since I have so much manpower. We have a new city. Where was that? Linden? Let's find it. Oh yeah, up here in the north. Congratulations on becoming a city. I definitely want you to still have that fort. It has a ton of slaves. Let's go ahead and start building the library here, as well as it doesn't look like we have anything to culture convert, so I'm going to go ahead and just focus in on the libraries for now. And still, they want me to make more and more grain. Alright, so they have decided to instead siege down the capital fort. I guess that's useful. Let's get you out of here. I'm tired. I wish I had never brought this fleet here. I wanted to do it so that they could, I don't know, could just be closer to the action, but I seriously regret that at this point. Uh-oh, our court philosopher is going to lose 20 loyalty. I'm okay with that, especially since we have a general that has loyalty up. Ooh, but I'll also imprison the court philosopher. Ah, well, a spell in the dungeon will settle her out. Let's go ahead and appoint you. He is the son of a general. You get to be my new court philosopher. Congratulations, sir. It is actually his lifelong dream to be a court philosopher for the Icenia. So, that is something. Do you know what would be... Alright, so this... It would probably be highly frustrating, but do you know what would actually be kind of a fun way to play this game? If you were just the leader, but not necessarily the military leader. Alright, okay, maybe it would be boring, because one of the things I enjoy most about the game is the military aspect. But if you, for instance, put all of your armies on independent operations and just let them do whatever, you could only give them, like, vague orders. For instance, you know, defend borders, fight rebels, reconnaissance, keep in reserve. And you tried to let your AI handle all of your military. That could be an interesting way to play. I don't know if I'm dedicated to do a whole playthrough on it, but it could be interesting. Mostly as a test. Obviously, it's not the most efficient way to play, but, you know, it's not always about the most efficient way to play. Sometimes it's about the most fun way to play. I'm going to go ahead and just toss away these 223 gold. That's fine. Gold is merely a number at this point, as I am in fantastic shape. Let's go ahead and turn this into a city. Boom, it is now a city. Well, it's going to spend 2 years becoming a city. I think that the next thing that I am saving money up for, or political influence in this case up for, is going to be to get the install provincial or infrastructure spending here in Venta to go ahead and give me another building slot. We finally seem to be ready to siege down some of their fortresses, so I'm going to go ahead and move the navy here to blockade the port. That should help just a little bit. It's what I should have done from the beginning. They have unfortunately sieged a couple places. We're going to try to re-siege that. In the end, we're not really super worried about any of their armies, although here, what are you thinking? There you go. Go ahead and accept that deal. Let's see, where else can I build? I wish there was a cities map mode. A cities map mode would be very helpful if anyone out there with any influence is listening to me. Because right now I just go to the population map mode and try to find ones that are bright green. Like you. Let's go ahead and build some... I'm going to build an academy here. Yay. Let's get more and more research points. Come on, take the fort. Don't run away. I'll go ahead and trade away these fish, that's fine. Oh, and we did finally take the port. What a great job by my AI-controlled armies. It was super inefficient, but it did end up happening. Let's go ahead and see if we can catch up with their navy. Indeed we do. It actually doesn't give us great odds to beat their navy, but alas, it does look like we are going to handle them very easily. I'll go ahead and send the earthenware away, as well as those fish, that's fine. It does appear that our AI-controlled armies, their main goal was to deal with the opposition's armies first, and then to attack the forts. I must say that's not a terrible strategy. Maybe I judged them too harshly. I have only lost, and I know it's because I'm gaining so many manpower each month, but I've actually only lost about 3,000 men in, as far as net loss in this war, so that's not terrible. Plus, this war should start to go a little bit better because I just had a martial advance increase. I am definitely going to be buying the fighting season, which is going to mean my supply limit goes up. And I am also definitely buying army maintenance costs down. That's going to allow me to have a bigger army. Bigger army means grander. It also means that I will be able to hopefully expand a little bit faster. Ooh, I forgot I had this navy. This navy is going to come and blockade this port. Let's see, when will I get my next tech advancement? 567, so 3 years, 568, so 4 years, 567. So unfortunately we are still barely moving. What about my next military? About 20 years, or really 17 years. 17 years, that's okay. Hopefully it'll actually be a lot shorter than that because we're actually about to hit the 100 research points per month. That's awesome. Oh no, we have lost a major fight. Oh my goodness. They stack wiped us. Where? Our commander's been captured. We've been stack wiped. Where? Where did that happen? This is what happens when you aren't watching. We just lost a ton of men, and that's not good. Obviously. How? Where was that? I missed it. We just took some slaves, so that's good, I guess, but still. Overall, unhappy with the performance, Army. See, this is why we need our great and glorious Emperor in charge of the armies. Or maybe his son. His son's a little bit better marshal. His son has had a daughter. That doesn't help me pass on along the family line. Will my army get there soon enough? Is that where you're going? Looks like they're coming to reinforce. Okay, good. We have won one battle, and now we're going to fight another. But indeed, that army was coming in to reinforce. It is kind of fun just watching my armies do their thing. Why are you leaving? What are you doing? Oh, you're trying to come relieve this army, which is probably going to lose. Why would they think about doing that? Stay on the fort. They had almost sieged it down. That was incredibly frustrating. If anything, just retreat this army. Although they were really coming to the aid of the Emperor. In fact, the Emperor Imperator himself is fighting in the front battle lines, and who knows what's going to happen. He has picked the right tactic. Congratulations to him. Let's see if he can pull it out a victory. It's going to be close. As I take a quick swig of water. My voice was getting a little raspy. It's going to be close. Oh, it's so close. Is it my heavy infantry currently fighting his light infantry? They only have 67 men left, but my heavy infantry is gone. They just have one chariot unit left with 512 men. I think we should win that fight, right? We didn't lose any soldiers in that fight. I think we should win this fight. They only have 500 men left. What's their morale look like? Their morale looks better than all of ours, except for our horsemen. Do our horsemen do any better against chariots? They're going to knock these chariots out. Their morale is better. Okay, yeah, we are going to win this. Fight! What a battle by our great Imanietitus Sonorus, Imanietitus II. What a job. They will sing about that victory and how he held on to the siege against all odds. Unfortunately, sorry, I had to get another swig of water. Unfortunately, this army, which decided it needed to come and try to relieve Imanietitus, gave up what was otherwise a sure... Where are you going, man? They gave up what was sure to be a successful siege and allowed y'all. Oh my gosh. Imanietitus has just given up his siege. What an idiot. Oh well, it's what we deserved for letting the AI try this. As long as they just don't force us into a white peace, we'll be fine. We didn't lose any troops there. We're doing decently. It's okay. Uh-oh. There are whispers in the dark. The greatest threat to any nation comes not from without, but from within. The constant infighting between those who would have themselves heir can consume countless resources and lives. Our spies at the court are certain that in Manutitus Sonorus, a man who has made no secret of his ambitions... I guess... Oh. Who are you? He's my uncle. We have the same name. Alright. A man who's made no secrets of his ambitions for the throne is plotting to ensure his future by doing away with the competition. We should keep a watchful eye on him. So I think I'm just going to have him put him under surveillance. I've got plenty of cash. Speaking of plenty of cash, let's see how we're doing as far as buildings go. I think it's time to build some buildings here in Gaul. You have been turned into a city and currently have 3 theaters. That's good. I mean, your migration attraction is decent, and now we are centralizing our population. I think I'm going to go ahead and have it centralized to... I guess it's going here, because this is a city as well. I'm going to go ahead and build this city. Build a theater into it. Let's do 2 theaters and a library. That should be good. In the meantime, let our armies keep battling. And let's go ahead and move our navies just anywhere else. We have won another great victory, although the odds were stacked in our favor. We have completely obliterated their armies, which is good. We are still hovering around that 63,000 manpower. If you remember, we actually started this war with around 65,000 manpower in reserves. So this war really hasn't been super costly in terms of net losses, which is good. And I think that the plot thickens. There's a meeting of the minds. Manutitus Sonorus has been spending increasing quantities of time with our beloved heir, Lucterius. These two are natural enemies, so it might be wise to be particularly careful with this developing situation. Thanks to our discreet surveillance of our conspirators, we were able to determine that they were having an animated discussion about Ogertorix Sonorus, another petty claimant to our throne. Perhaps we can convince Lucterius to not get involved. We could warn Ogertorix. He will be warned, or I'm going to say troubling, because let's see about Ogertorix. Who is Ogertorix? He's you. He's not very loyal. I don't really like him. He doesn't really like me. So, troubling. If they kill him, they kill him. Let's check out some laws real quick. I kind of like the national manpower up 10%, although I don't necessarily need it anymore at that 203,000 mark. So I might go ahead and move it to monthly military experience is nice. Y'all, will you just... Alright. There is some infighting. The 2 dastardly claimants to the throne of Albion who have been plotting together to cause all manner of chaos have seemingly fallen foul to one another. Uh-oh. Oh well. So much so, it seems that Manutitus Sonorus is reportedly marching a band of hired thugs to the dwelling place of Lucterius at this very moment. Is he my primary heir? He is! Please don't kill him. At this very moment, if we wished to intercede, now would be the time. So, let's see. Lucterius is fine. Doesn't have a lot of charisma, doesn't have a lot of religious score. Do I have another son? I don't. Yeah, I am definitely going to step in. I'm going to lose some political influence. It's going to be okay. But I don't want him to be hurt. What I do want is for us to go ahead and take this fort. Our armies are utterly refusing to take any forts anymore. To sit in this little settlement long enough to take the fort. They just do not care. And these 10,000 men seem to be very happy to chill on this island. Good for them, I guess. It is a little frustrating to watch as my armies do things that I would not do. Oh, the plot thickens again. At a recent feast, our loyal subject, Ogretorix, was making merry when he fell mysteriously and suddenly ill. We suspect that he might have been poisoned by those seeking to do away with the competition to the throne. If we value his life at all, we should seek assistance immediately. Ogretorix could die, or he will either gain brain damage. He's my little brother. Do I love my little brother? I mean, I love my real life little brother, but does this man love his little brother? His extremely younger little brother. Oh, he's the nephew. Does he love his nephew? Excuse me. Does he love his nephew? How inconvenient. Let's keep feasting. I think I'm going to go ahead and, just because I want the stability, go ahead and bring a holy man at once. Oh, you weren't the Ogretorix I thought we were talking about. You were an admiral. Whoops. Your name is not Luctarius. Oh, you know what? I was just talking about the wrong guy. Just altogether. Whoops. Either way, he died. He was fine. We have finally won a siege. I guess that's good at this point. I'm just glad we are making some headway in this war that we are fighting. It has definitely cost us a lot of men. And even though, now that I actually think about it, we are actually losing a ton of manpower because a lot of these armies haven't reinforced yet. And when they will, that number is going to drop quite a bit. Surely, though, it is time to go ahead and declare peace. But they're not going to want to peace out and let me take their territory unless I take this fort. Oh my goodness. How many cohorts do I have? Have they just wiped me out? No, I still have 82 cohorts. I just don't know where they are. Are they all just in these armies? What are y'all doing? Y'all, these guys really need to come back to the mainland. I really want to retake control of my armies at this point, but I have also kind of promised myself that I'm just going to let this go and just kind of watch from afar. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to let this go and watch from afar. I'm just seeing what will happen, kind of having some fun. But take the fort. Dang it. We are... might just go ahead and buy some mercenaries to come help. This is crazy. Take the fort. I guess you can just walk right through the fort now because you're AI controlled. I know that if it was me controlling it, I wouldn't be able to do that. Interesting. Fascinating. Also, no! We have lost another of our great commanders. This war has turned out to be disastrous. I never should have relinquished control. I thought it'd be fun, and turns out it has not been. It has just been agonizing to watch as my armies have fallen, mostly due to the stupidity of my generals. But I have told myself that I am not going to interfere. I can always build more soldiers, right? Go ahead and accept some base metals. Will you take this fort? They shouldn't worry about anything else happening here. Just take the fort. I only have 15,000 men left to fight in, except for these guys who have just decided, you know what, we're cool. If these 16,000 men end up perishing somehow, I will, I guess, have to intercede. I really thought this war would be over by now. Where are you doing? Y'all take the fort. You know what? We're not going to worry about it. We're going to see. We're just going to let them be for a minute and see where what we can do up here. You have the opportunity to build 8 buildings. I know what I'm going to build. Let's build some libraries. Let's also go ahead. No, there's no real reason to get an academy yet because we don't have any citizens. So I'm also going to go ahead and build 2 theaters. There's no reason for me to play whack-a-mole. Look at this. Look at what they're planning on doing. All right. Let's just... I said I wasn't going to, but I'm sorry. I have to take this fort. Also, you are now going to come and attack as well. Stop kidding around. Let's do this thing. I was hoping that I could use the armies that were here to just kind of walk across their land in an attempt, and that way I could focus on the more pressing matters of the internal politics. But unfortunately, they have just decided that instead they are just going to smash my cohorts. No, they didn't. They actually did not smash my cohorts. I have these 10,000 men who have just refused to move. And I just had a bunch of people who decided to walk around and not take any land, so they were able to always rebuild their armies. I did have a civic advancement. I'm going to go ahead and get this national freeman output up as well. You know what? I'm probably actually going to get all of those inventions. Let's go ahead. Ooh, global monthly food producing. That's helpful. Let's do national tax output up. Yes, please. Let's do code of rights. National freeman output up. Yes, please. Oops. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, let's get both of these real quick. Get some more trade routes in the capital. Speaking of, we'll come here. Let's see. Can anyone trade with us? We can get some fish and some wood. Those are probably going to be from ourselves. Am I already importing wood? I am not, which means I'm going to get some local tax up 3%. Can I get more local tax up 3%? Yes, I think that's stacked. I'm not 100% sure. This army is now going to go here. Finally, we have decided to step in. After our armies were just incompetent. This army can come literally anywhere else. I guess you want to be picked up. That's okay, we'll pick you up. We have won a great victory. And we have also gained a religious advancement. That's going to help our omen power get a little bit better. You are now going to come here. Let's just keep beating them down. I guess the reason he didn't want to go anywhere is because he just couldn't make it over. So, you are now going to get into these boats. I'll go ahead and trade some not grain. Let's do some fish. You are now going to come here. You are going to come here. You are just going to sit there and take that fort, dang it. This war would have been over long ago if that fort had fallen. Instead, we're going to have to actually do some rebuilding of our army. Turned out, just playing around, and again, I was just playing around. Now I'm not messing around anymore because we've been going for... This episode is already approaching the 45-minute mark. So I don't want to take it too much longer than that. But I do want to finish this war. I don't like stopping an episode while I'm not at peace. So I'm going to make sure that this war is over and done. Looks like we have some pirate issues. That's going to be okay. I could care less about the pirates right now. In fact, I'm just going to see... Hunt fleets. There you go. Go hunt some pirates if you'd want. You get out of here. You'll take that land back. It's okay. I'm going to beat you. This is at least going to give me a large section of the Gallic coast. Eventually I want all of this coastline. The English Channel should just be basically an Icenia river by the end of it. Well, actually an Albion river. This has been a tremendously costly war for not only us, but also our enemies. And finally, after much fanfare, we have taken the city. Let us go ahead and sue for peace. We are going to take as much as possible. Should I go ahead and take this land as well? I think so. That's going to bring us up to 14 aggressive expansion. I thought about maybe making one of them like a tribal vassal, but no, I'm just going to go ahead and take them all. That's going to flop our aggressive expansion way up, but that kind of is going to go down in a hurry. We have a couple texts that help us out with that. Any inventions that might be good? No. Anyway, so we did expand Albion a little bit more. More importantly, we built a ton of libraries and academies. Let's just check out what our technology output is. It's actually not as good as it was before, mostly probably because we took a lot of very low citizen areas. Like, there just aren't a lot of citizens in any of the areas that we took. I should have realized that that was probably going to hurt my research output, but that is okay. We are continuing to push south into Gaul. It looks like the Beturgians are finally clashing with the Romans. Rome, I think, can sense what's on the horizon and knows that if they want to take Gaul, they're going to have to fight the Albions for it. So they want to go ahead and grab as much of it as they can. I'm surprised that they have not made their way over into really just Magna Graecia yet, but also into Greece itself. In fact, look at Greece. It is kind of fracturing. Macedonia seems to have lost a lot of power in the region. Look at Carthage, though, sneakily coming up and taking some of Magna Graecia. The Punic Wars may be in full effect, and it might happen right here in southern Italy. Meanwhile, Carthage continues to work its way into Iberia. And, of course, this is still a fractured mess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our little experiment. I don't know if I'm going to do that again after how many men I lost for honestly no real reason. But yeah, I think anyway, it has been a successful episode. I think we've done a lot with the internal politics of our country. We've also helped greatly expand just the internal productivity of the country, as well as taken over some more territory. Anyway, I have been Ben the Bold. You have been you. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm enjoying making it. I'm just having a lot of fun, and I hope you are too. And I will see you on the next one.